Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I live in Durham, North Carolina, and I'm out in my workshop that I call Paper Town. I'm so happy that everyone is here who is here. I made a stamp and I'm really excited about this. Probably 2 years ago, I bought this set. It looked just like this. It was on clearance at Michael's, so I bought 2 of them. I think 2 might have been all that were left on the shelf. And I'm seeing here that I need to get some of the ink and paint off of this while I'm talking. Some of it's gone down in these little crevices, and I definitely don't want to mess this stamp up. This, of course, looks very primitive. I decided to go with something that felt maybe a little bit easy. Let's see what this does. I know it's a very wet, so it might just make a mess, but I do like to use everything I can. That's going to be pretty cool when it dries, actually. Let's see if I can. Should have torn it off to start with. I'm going to put that to the side so it can dry. And let me take this messy towel and just dry this off properly. I had never made my own stamp out of anything like this, like, you know, just using a real stamp block, I guess it's called, and the proper tools. I think we carved some stamps out of soap when we were little in school. Now, the thing with this, it's hard to make something that looks just perfect, like it came off of an assembly line, because it didn't come off of an assembly line. I think I got paint down in there. This kit comes with paint. Oh, and let me show you this one. This is when I first made it, and I didn't have quite as many lines cut into the stamp. I love this too. One reason that it may be a little more dense, in addition to not having these extra white lines, is that I used the paint that came with the kit. Oh, it says black. Yeah, it looked blue. So it comes with the black paint. It comes with a block that you can carve into, and you have a brayer to spread your ink over the stamp when it's finished. And then you have this really neat tool. You know, you can loosen it up at the top and put your, well, these pieces fall out. Actually, this one feels stuck. There we go. I knew it wasn't moving. There are 2 pieces in here, and they sit side by side. You don't want to lose those. But see, when you loosen this up, they kind of fall down into the bottom, and that allows you to put the tool into here and tighten it up. And then in here, you have your cutting tools, a really wide, and then a middle size, and then a really narrow one. I've actually been trying to figure out, though, does this sit on the side of that thing, or does it go in between the 2 pieces? Oh yeah, I think it's been going in the right spot. So that fits down in there, and you tighten it up, and then you have this really nice carving tool. Okay, I want to make another stamp, and this time I'm going to stick with a simple design again. I'm just going to pick a different design. I like the leaf, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, maybe even fun to use with gel plates or a gel plate. And I'm going to leave these out so that I can use them. The way I did the last one is to take a pen and, let's see, just thinking about the shape that I want this star to be. Stars are really easy to make like this, but that's kind of, I do want it to feel homemade, you know? So let's don't stress, let's just draw a star. And I wonder if we can add some other elements in. I may regret this, but I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to do several little stars. And maybe I'm doing this wrong, I don't know. I did read the instructions. You really need to think about how you want your stamp to be. Like, I think it would be really hard to do something, well, for a beginner to do something intricate with these tools. And I want the star to stand up and give us that star shape. So I'm basically going to cut out everything around the star. However, it is fun to have a line of ink. Let's see, or like a dip. How about this? A place where there is no ink, sort of in a line. How do we do this? So I think I'm going to go ahead and cut. Let me go ahead and cut. I went in a little too far probably, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and start cutting away what's outside of the star. And sometimes these little marks that are left behind are cool as well. You can see I have a few on this, and I really like that. This is really sharp. I don't think you would want to do this towards your body. It looks like a big pink eraser. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off. I've got some of these smaller tools that I can use when I get to these little smaller areas. I'm gonna go ahead and take away most of what's around the stars, and then I might come back and put a tiny little line right inside the stars. But I'm gonna turn the camera off for now, and I'll be back soon. I actually had the camera turned off for a little longer than I had planned because I ended up talking to my sister on the phone while I was working on this stamp. And this is the way this one looks when it's used just with ink. Here it is using the sort of heavy paint or ink. This is black water-soluble ink. It's really thick though, and it's a very dark, and I find it to be really messy to work with. This is one I had just wet the stamp to clean it and got this impression here. I do like these. Now, I'm very much a beginner. I'm sure that I don't really have any skills to speak of with this, and that's okay. I wanted to just attempt it and maybe learn how to do it even better. I can say that it is something I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed this whole process, so I can see myself buying more stamp blocks and doing this again, or, you know, carving blocks. I'm really not even sure what they're called. Has anybody else done any of these? I wonder how it would work with a gel plate. I think that you could make some really interesting things, and I've been wanting to make some gel prints anyway. Well, I am going to take all this apart and tighten this back up. So now I have two sets here of this part, 2 containers of ink, and 2 more brayers to add to the mix, which is nice. The brayers feel pretty sturdy to me. So that's really cool. I like that. I'm going to put these over on my little stand over here with my tools so that I don't lose those. Sometimes it's even fun to get these marks in on the stamp. You know, it's kind of cool. I guess you could keep chipping away or carving away until you've got it really low all around what you've, you know, the image that you've made, so that it's more professional. I like the leaf better, I think, but I like this too. It has started to rain here. You can probably hear it. I've been messing around with the jelly plate some, and I will come back with a video and share some ideas with that. But I wanted to show you how the stamps turned out as far as just straightforward using these stamps with ink pads. And this is the Distress ink, the Fired Brick, and this is the Fossilized Amber, the Distress ink. But I really think we're going to be able to do so much with these. I love this for my first attempt. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and I expect this is something I will do again. All right, thank you for watching. Bye for now.